Alrighty, guys, and to wrap it up for today, it is Thursday, February 5th, and it's going to be a busy day. This morning we said we were favoring the shorter, well, we were range bound the ES looking for a retest of the lows. On the NASDAQ, we were just flat out leaning short. Now, we didn't get much of a lift at all. That was pretty much a straight free for all to the downside. The ES has taken out that key support area, the 6820. They're holding actually right at it now. So if they can't get up above that thing, you're going to be in some trouble in the overnight, I believe. So right now, heading lower. They took out key support. This morning we were looking at them. I forget what we said. I say that 80. We said that if they can get up above the 95s, 85s and 95s, we may take off the short bias. But at this point, we didn't get much lift at all. They were just kind of holding towards the lower end. It's been just extending all the way down to the 6800s. So we are right down here at that key area, that triple edge. And if that comes out, they trade below it. Yeah, we're going to be in some trouble. We can see them take it quite a bit lower, actually. The next attractor is going to be down here at the 6760s. Thereafter, it's going to be all the way down here to the 6600s. So that could be turn into a pretty good sell-off. I mean, this is your low volume area, which is hasn't been tested. So if they're going to run it all the way down there, we are looking at a pretty brutal sell-off for some of these stocks. A lot of these software stocks, I mean, they've been absolutely creamed. I'm looking at Coinbase, absolutely creamed. Microsoft, absolutely annihilated. And down below 400 on Microsoft. That's just pretty unheard of, but that's what they're doing and taking those things down like crazy. So eventually, I think there's going to be some buying kicking in, but we'll see how far they're going to take it. So we are at this point range bound biases to the downside. Watch that key area 6820. If they can't hold that, if they can't get up above it, we're going to be in some trouble going into the overnight. So the only trade I took was later on today. That was right there. There was after this crazy, they actually started keeping up again. And there was like a hard run down, and it looks like there was a pretty good snapback going on. So I tried a long trade there, rotation back to the mean kind of a trade. And I got to break even, and then they shook me out, and then they kept going. So I just stopped at that one. So 450 on that one trade. I figured out, okay, that's just still pretty volatile. So, and as you can see, it's up and it's down, and they're rallying this back and forth. There's a lot of whipsawing, and yes, I was not going to engage that. So I just kind of sat on the sidelines after that and didn't do much. Nasdaq is, you're looking at the bigger picture, it's already down here at this area. They're already heading into this low volume area. So I'm expecting more weakness. I'm looking for them to run it all the way down here into the 24,000s, low 24,000, see if they can take out this low volume area. But definitely a pretty good sell-off is what we got on our hands right now. So from the high at 26.3, you take out 2,600 bucks, that would be 23.8 or something like that. That would be 10%. So 10% will be right in this low volume area here, and then we'll see if they're going to try to take it lower. We'll see. It could get bloody. Yeah, at this point, I'm just going to sit on the sidelines. Not much you can do about it. Trading wise, as long as it's not whippy and very volatile, we can certainly trade it. Otherwise, you just have to be a lot more cautious. Getting in at edges, find good trade location is key, and try to. I mean, you have to trade with a much bigger stop than you really want to. Otherwise, you just get shaken out of it. And if you're right, like I was in that trade, that was a pretty good move. I was in here at the 700. It went all the way up here to the 740. That's 40 points. That's a pretty good trade normally for the Nasdaq. So that was like $70, $80 trade, but it's, as you can see, get in, get out, they just knock you out, and then they keep going, and then they back off, and then they had this rally up here. That's something. So starting off, range bound bias is to the downside, looking to sell strength on both the ES and Nasdaq. If the ES can get up above, they kind of had to get up above this area at the 68.80s before we start thinking about changing our bias. But right now, looking to sell strength all the way up here to that 68.80 level, and adjust these edges for tomorrow. So looking for short setups against 68.80, 68, 65s, 68.50s. And we're going to put an edge here at the mode 68.30s, rotations down. And on the Nasdaq, same story there, looking to sell strength at this, and at Nasdaq it's even worse. I mean, you can get short all the way up here to the 925,000s almost. So looking to sell strength. I'm probably not going to do much with it until I see it start behaving a little bit better. In other words, being able to trade with the kind of stop sizes I'm looking for without being just absolutely whipped out, you know. On the bond side of things, as I said in the last update, I was looking for a short trade there up there against the 15s. And as I said, in the first couple of levels here, it wasn't doing much here. So you can see here they were back and forth a bit. If you try to get short at the 15th, you would have been able to get filled there. I believe at 15th, yeah, you could. And you wouldn't have gotten more like a couple of ticks and then back up again. So it was not going anywhere. And then now it's actually extending to the upside. So not I would have been expecting a move down, but when it trades up like this early on in the session and you don't see a pullback, the trade would have been up here to take it around about there, that retest, and that would have given you three ticks, maybe to three tradable ticks. Then when it's back up there again, you can see just stalling, not going anywhere. 2 o'clock hour, you could have potentially tried it. That would have been probably a break-even trade, or maybe a couple of ticks worth of an effort, but it didn't go very far. So bond market, I would start from the long side, see if they can retest this high at the 16th, maybe take it higher. It looks like they're trying to, and let's see how far they want to go. So they're going to buy weakness against that 1510s, and if they retrace these guys down here at the 115 or 224, these two levels, I'm going to adjust this level in the middle. So there you have it. Back to the ES, and we're getting into Friday. The first week in February has been brutal, absolutely brutal. News for tomorrow. The employment situation doesn't come out tomorrow. It's going to come out next week. But we have a 10 o'clock consumer sentiment tomorrow, and that's about it. So probably going to be another kind of a Friday like this, maybe even further weakness. So I just get ready for it. Alrighty, guys, we'll leave it there. So just one trade on the Nasdaq, and that was a one and done. It's like, okay, I'm not touching this again. So there you have it. Alrighty, guys, see you back in the morning. Have a good evening. Later.